Okay, so you want to really talk about the past in Spanish, right? I mean, not just list off things that happened, but actually tell a story, describe a memory, and set a scene. Well, to do that, you have to master the imperfect tense. It's the secret ingredient that's going to make you sound less like you're reading a timeline and more like a real storyteller.
And don't worry, we've got a super clear path to get you there. First, we're going to take a trip back in time. Then, I've got some seriously good news for you about Spanish verbs. After that, we'll get into what the imperfect is actually for, clear up the single biggest point of confusion, and then we'll make sure it all sticks. Sound good? Let's jump in. All right, first stop, a trip down memory lane. This whole tense is really about bringing the past to life.
So, I want you to think about this for a second. What was your childhood like? I mean, what kind of things did you used to do? What was your house like? Who were your friends? To answer any of these questions, you need a very specific tool in your Spanish toolbox. And this, right here, is that tool. It's called the imperfecto. Its whole job is to talk about how things were and what you used to do. Just think of it as the go-to tense for anything that was ongoing or was a habit in the past. Okay, now for what might be the best news you'll hear all day about Spanish grammar. Seriously. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by all the irregular verbs and other tenses, you're about to feel a wave of relief. And I mean it. It is by far the easiest, most predictable past tense in Spanish. No tricks, no hidden traps. It's super friendly. How friendly, you ask? That's it. 3. In the entire imperfect tense, there are only 3 irregular verbs. Just 3. If you've battled with other tenses, you know what a huge, huge win this is for all of us. So here's how easy it is. For any regular verb that ends in AR, you just chop off that ending and tack these on. Notice that pattern? Aba, abas, aba. It has this nice, consistent rhythm. So you get yo hablaba, tú hablabas, nosotros hablábamos. That's it. Simple. And believe it or not, it gets even better. For all the regular verbs ending in ER and IR, guess what? They share the exact same set of endings. You just add ia and you're good. So yo comía and yo vivía follow the same pattern. That's 2 whole verb categories with just 1 set of endings to remember. And here they are, the only troublemakers in the whole tense. The famous 3. Ser, to be, becomes era. Ir, to go, becomes iba. And ver, to see, becomes veía. That's the entire list. You memorize these 3, and you've pretty much conquered all the conjugations for the imperfect. Okay, so we know it's super easy to form, but the big question is, when do we actually use it? Well, I want you to think of yourself as an artist. The imperfect tense is your paintbrush, and you're about to paint a picture of the past. And here's the key idea. With the imperfect, we don't care about the beginning or the end of the action. It's not about what happened one specific time. It's all about what was happening or what used to happen. You're setting the stage for your story. And here are a few little cheat codes for you. Keep an eye out for these phrases. When you hear words like siempre, for always, or todos los días, every day, or especially a classic opener like cuando era niño o niña, when I was a child, your brain should just light up and think, aha, imperfect tense. And here's a perfect example of that. Cuando era pequeña, that phrase right there sets the scene in the past. And then dormía means I used to sleep. It wasn't a one-time thing. It was a habit, a routine. That is classic imperfect. Or take this one. This is pure description. We're not saying the sun shone for exactly 2 hours and then stopped. We're just painting the picture. Brillaba, it was shining, and era, it was blue. We're creating the atmosphere. This is what the imperfect does best. Okay, here we go. This is the main event. Understanding how the imperfect works together with the other main past tense, the indefinido, is where you really, truly level up your Spanish skills. So let's make this as simple as possible. You know what? Think of it like a movie. The imperfecto is the scenery. It's the background music, the weather, what everyone was doing. It's what was happening. The indefinido, on the other hand, is the action. It's when the hero suddenly does something specific. The scenery was, and the action happened. Let's look at it in a sentence. What's the background scene here? Well, María estudiaba. She was studying. That's our ongoing imperfect. And then what's the specific action that happened? Pepe preparó la cena. Pepe prepared dinner. Boom, the action is done. See how they work together?
Let's do one more. What were we doing? We cenábamos, we were eating dinner. That's our ongoing background scene. Then what happened? De repente, suddenly, the phone sonó. It rang. It was a single finished action that interrupted the background. That's the magic right there. So, now you've seen how to build it, and more importantly, when to use it, let's just do a quick recap to make sure the most important ideas really stick with you.
Okay, here are the 4 things I really want you to take away. Number 1, use the imperfecto for used to or was were doing something. It's for descriptions and habits. Number 2, conjugation is a piece of cake. Just add aba or ia. Number 3, you only have to memorize 3 irregulars. Era, iba, veía. And number 4, the big one, think background versus action.
So, I'll leave you with this final thought. Antes, before, maybe you didn't quite understand the imperfect. Y ahora? And now, what do you think? You've got the tools. Now you can go out and start telling your own stories about the past. Give it a try.